is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing here a deck profile for Decidueye. This is going to be quite a bit of a twist for this particular deck because I am combining two cards that normally don't play together I guess, but they do have their kind of synergies with another particular card, but you guys will get it once I actually get to those cards. But with that being said, this here is going to be quite a unique way of actually playing things because you know, having this particular ability to prevent all damage dealt by Vs and GXs, obviously you can see that GXs are no longer here, they're all being rotated out. As a result, you don't really have to worry about GXs anymore, it's all about Vs now, but the problem is, you don't really see decks that play pure V cards, it's mostly just V maxes, though there are some exceptions. For example, Zacian V is still such a critical card in so many decks out there, and that also applies for a few other V cards that's also just being played without a VMAX counterpart. So with that being said, I believe this deck can still hold up a certain degree in the actual game itself, but only at a very casual level. I mean, you're never going to be bringing this deck to a more competitive level because it just doesn't apply anymore. GXs are completely gone, so it almost renders this particular kind of build pointless, but nevertheless it is an idea I wanted to put out. But before I get started, I would like to remind you guys to consider dropping a like, share, comment and subscribing if you still haven't. It really does help the channel. However, with that being said, let's begin. Alright, so it's no surprise to you guys that I'm playing here this particular lineup, 4 Decidueyes, 2 Dartrix and the 4 Rowlet. This is because you just want to go for the rare candy immediately into your Decidueye, not to mention energy attachment is so easy as well. Rowlet also has pretty decent abilities as well. Sky Circus is quite amazing, allowing you to just ping your opponent's Pokemon, so it's definitely well worth it to play it. But with that being said, the Decidueye is still definitely a really amazing card. Splitting Arrow is an amazing attack. I mean, it does quite a hefty amount for a low cost, and it's supposed to be slow anyway, but the thing is this, it's mainly the ability that prevents any damage to it. So while your opponent's trying to work out a way to defeat Decidueye, you're pretty much just going to ping off the opponent's Pokemon bit by bit, so it definitely is fantastic. Alright, so here's the twist, we're playing here Altaria. I'm playing 3 copies only because, well, what's the need of playing 4 when you already have Decidueye? But it's essentially the same ability, it's just different names, but it also prevents all damage done by Vs and GXs. But again, like I said, since GXs were rotated out, this card doesn't apply as much anymore. Now, it does still have an attack of its own, not a great one, but you know, if you have twin energy, it's no big deal there, right? It's small amounts of damage to just ping bits of your opponent's Pokemon, and it's meant to be slow. I mean, this deck is meant to be slow, and the only effectiveness about this deck is the fact that it can prevent damage from Vs and GXs, so that's really the only thing you have to depend on, and in this case, it mostly just applies to a more casual standpoint, and as a result, it's not something I would highly recommend. But the twist here is Altaria and Decidueye. They both play themselves with Obstagoon, but in this particular case, I'm combining both of them. Now, this would actually be quite a deadly combo if it was pre-rotation, so I did wish that I had profiled this a lot earlier, but you know what, it's okay. As for supporting Pokemon, I'm playing here Crobat V to draw cards, and Rillaboom is just a really nice card as well. If you manage to somehow attach on 4 energy, then you can deal 220, it's still that nice secondary attacker. The opponent typically just doesn't consider this at all, though it's something that I've only tested out in other decks where I had a lot more main attackers out there. So in this particular build, I haven't really been able to test out Rillaboom V's effectivity yet. And it's mainly just the Forest Feast that's actually a really good attack, allowing you to put more of your Pokemon out onto the bench. Well, this should come to no surprise to you guys that we are going to be playing a lot of searching cards here. I felt that this was the particularly best ratio for it. Quick Ball adds all the basics anyway, but you always have the evolution cards. I figured 2 evolution incense is good enough, but the 2 level balls can also have a bit more diversity in what you could actually find. For example, you could find Dartrix, but you can also find all of the basic Pokemon that is less than 90 HP as well, so it adds something that the evolution incense doesn't necessarily have. And I'm also going to be playing here the 4 copies of Rare Candy. It's definitely a really nice card, of course, because this is what's needed to actually evolve into the Decidueyes, and given that we're playing 4 of them, we are definitely going to be playing 4 copies of the Rare Candy. Next up, for a bit of the manipulation of the board, Air Balloon and Switch allows you to just get out whichever one you actually need in the circumstance. If any of your Pokemon gets knocked out anyway, it's fine, but Air Balloon and Switch just allows you to sometimes mitigate that damage and delay the process so that maybe you could get the quick edge later on. For a bit of utility cards, we're going to be playing here 2 copies of Catcher and 2 Crushing Hammers. Great cards to just disrupt the opponents. Of course, the Catchers can also act as a great means to get the right Pokemon out to knock out. But we also have here the Tool Scrappers, getting rid of some pesky tools out there, and Ordinary Rod, allowing you to recycle your resources. So as for supporters, I'm going to be playing here 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Definitely really amazing, of course. Paired that with the Pokemon Catchers and you have quite a high chance of actually getting out whichever Pokemon your opponent has to knock it out whenever you need to. We also have here Corina's Focus, a really nice card allowing you to just add the things to your hand again, so definitely a great way to do things without the need of the dependence of the research, but we are still playing the research, so it kind of like is really speeding up the process of you actually getting more cards to your hand. And lastly, we're going to be playing here 2 Marnies, Great Disruption, Great Draw Power, and also Professor's Research, just really digging through that deck. So for energy, we're playing 3 Twin Energy, of course. That's working for Altaria, but the Capture Energy is also great to attach to your Pokemon, allowing you to potentially get out more Pokemon onto the bench, which is definitely fantastic. And as for the Decidueyes, we're definitely going to be playing here the 4 copies of Aromatic Energy. Just works out really amazingly for this particular deck, and also just allows you to not have any special conditions affect your own Pokemon. So it is nice there, but the 2 extra basic energy might be needed in the circumstance that you might be wanting to boost up Rillaboom, or maybe just get additional copies attached to your Decidueye. However, that was pretty much it for today's video, so I do hope you guys enjoyed that. With that being said, I don't recommend you play this competitively whatsoever. It's not even a rogue deck, it's purely for fun, purely just an idea I wanted to put out there. So I just hope you guys actually have fun with this particular build. But with that being said, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.